Ever heard a kid say something that sent shivers down your spine? It was the dead of night when my little girl, let's call her Luna, shook me awake. Her voice was small and filled with genuine fear. "Daddy," she whispered, "something in the toilet is trying to grab me." My heart pounded in my chest. I shot out of bed, and we cautiously approached the bathroom. The toilet bowl was still and empty. "What did you feel, sweetie?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. "I felt like a hand," she said, her brow furrowed, and I felt a nail. It struck me as odd, probably just her imagination running wild after a scary movie. I tucked her back into bed, promising to keep her safe. Back in our room, my wife Clara was awake. I told her what Luna had said. Clara, ever the believer in the uncanny since we moved into this old house, murmured, "Maybe it's haunted." I chuckled. But just as she was drifting back to sleep, she whispered something that made my blood run cold. "That's weird." I felt something similar. Something touching my wife and daughter in the toilet. I couldn't shake the image. I went back to the bathroom and obsessively flushed the toilet, plunging it repeatedly, convinced there must be some obstruction. But after an hour, nothing. I tried to rationalize it as just another quirk of an old house. The next evening, while Clara and I were making dinner, Luna came up to me. "Daddy," she asked, "can we get a new toilet?" "Why, honey, did you feel something again?" I asked. "No," she replied, "but it keeps on screaming." Screaming? She then let out a piercing, high-pitched shriek. Later, when I flushed the toilet, a similar sound echoed from the pipes, accompanied by rattling. I promised Luna we'd call a plumber. Clearly, something was wrong. "Daddy, I fixed the toilet," she announced proudly. I smiled sleepily, thinking she was playing. She led me to her room and flipped on the light. On her floor was a shoebox, and it was moving. My stomach lurched as I cautiously opened it. Inside, a wet, angry rat scurried around, its long tail whipping. I slammed the lid shut, placing a heavy book on top. "Did it bite or scratch you, Luna?" She shook her head. Still, I rushed her to the hospital for rabies testing and called animal control for the rat. Luna was fine, thankfully. But then came the terrifying news. Clara had been scratched. She hadn't even noticed it, but the tests came back with a high possibility of rabies exposure. Apparently, rats finding their way up through plumbing isn't as far-fetched as you'd think. This one had been lurking for days. Luna, she'd found it and decided it would make a good pet. After a long, agonizing hospital stay, Clara was finally cleared. For a week, the fear was so intense that we resorted to using a litter box.